Hey everyone, welcome back to the IWP Network, or if it's your first time, welcome hanging out with us. Thank you so much for choosing this podcast, and feedback is always welcome. So make sure to check the links below for all social media links, audio and video versions of this show, and merch. We look forward to hearing from you and hearing that feedback, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Bangin Beers Podcast, episode 111. We are here. A little short table today, but that doesn't stop us for the beers from flowing. I got a full lineup. We got some Sierra Nevada, some Stable 12, some 902 Brewing Company, East Brothers, and Wells Brewer. Sorry, there's a little background noise there. Just making sure audio sounds good. I've been having some issues lately with this service. So we got a good lineup here. This is going to be the last week, and then we go back. We're going to start going back to bi-weekly. So there'll be every other week we'll be doing this. All right, good. Everything sounds good on our end. We're good. And I just closed everything out that I needed. Son of a bitch. Live chat is open. If you guys want to hang out, talk to us, let us know. First off, we want to thank our Patreon people. We do have a Patreon. You get bonus content as well as a shout out and some other cool stuff that we're working on in the future. So we want to thank the Tree of Life Metaphysical Shop for their donation. Brad Zalonis, the PA Pile Driver Podcast, Hyreth in Other Words Podcast, Jay, Austin Blackwell, and Jennifer Myers. So thank you guys for the Patreon donations and helping us out there. And we also want to thank our sponsor, Abaddon Tattoo Studio. I probably should have this memorized by now for how much we do it, but I love those guys to death. A unique professional experience nestled in the small town of Pine Grove, Pennsylvania. They provide high-quality tattoos and piercings in a relaxed, professional, and sterile environment. You can check out the links below for all their stuff. You can go support them, get some tattoos, piercings, whatever you need, right? Merch, our links are below as well. You can check out some merchandise if you want to get some t-shirts. You're rocking the new Patty's Pub looking. Our Patty's Pub spoof logo. You can get that as well as all the other merchandise on that as well. I believe there's a sale going on if you're on the T Public one. It's like a pie sale. It's like 30 some % off. I think so, yeah. I don't remember the code. As soon as you click on the site, they give you the code.
3.14% off?
So probably something like that.
Yeah, I hope not. That's a real low percent.
That's a shitty discount, right?
Well, that's pie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So let's start with this first one here. So this is the Sierra Nevada Big Little Thing IPA, Imperial IPA, and this is the anniversary, I believe. I got this a couple weeks ago at the Cake Stand in Monte City. I believe all but two of these beers are from the Cake Stand. This is from the Craft House, and this is from Wellsboro itself, right?
That's, I think Andy brought that one.
Oh, okay, that's an Andy beer. He probably got it there as well. So I'll crack and pour if you want to start reading this off, Bob.
Big Little Thing from Sierra Nevada Brewing. It's an Imperial Double IPA coming in at 9% ABV. Make way for the Big Little Thing, an Imperial IPA flexing a full malt body, restrained sweetness, and tropical hop flavors of mango, grapefruit, and tangerine. The flavor profile is hoppy, strong, smooth, fruity, and earthy. This has been logged in over 12,000 times.
Oh, shit.
I've had it twice already, and 28 of my friends have checked this in. The average score from everyone is a 3.85.
Not bad at all. And you get a badge for checking this in. This is a badge?
Yes, actually, yes. The badge for this still is open.
It's nothing that you haven't had before, but first initial sip is I really enjoy it.
Yeah. And it doesn't taste the 9%.
No,
either.
It has a little bit, like, you could definitely tell, like, if you go a little crazy on these will creep up on you. But for the most part, this is easy drinking. There's a little bit of a hop kick there, but like I said, it's I think this would be fine if you're like a domestic drinker and you tried one of these. I think you'd be fine.
going to see if it still stays the same as it did the last 2 times. But what I like, as I raise the glass to my nose, I can actually smell the fruits
Yeah.
before I taste them. And each of the individual fruits that they mentioned in the profile, I can tell they're there.
You said the characteristics: hoppy, strong, smooth, fruity, and earthy. I mean, I like I said, I get some of that stuff. Not super pretentious. I don't know most of it. I just drink it and see what I like. If you guys are hanging out with us on a Sunday, the live chat is open. Come talk to us. Let us know what you're drinking, what you're sipping on. Let us know what you think. If you've ever had these beers, let us know. Also, you can find us on Untapped. We'll get you all that information if you're also Untapped users. So come on and hang out with us. First, I'll go first here with this one. I think the right below a 4 is right where it needs to be. I would go 3.75. If I paid premium, I'd probably go like 3.85. It's not quite a 4 for me, but I would definitely buy more of this. I believe this was sold in single cans as well. Like you can get this just by itself. You don't have to buy like a case or a 4-pack.
They also have they have it in 6-packs of 12-ounce cans too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sierra Nevada makes good beers. They're more on the larger side of the craft beer world.
Yeah, and the little, because they have like hazy little thing and big little thing. And I think they have a sour IPA version. So
Yeah.
they have a lot of, like in this lineup at least also. And then obviously the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale as well is very popular.
Yeah, I forget recently we had a Sierra Nevada I really enjoyed, but I can't keep track of everything. I should probably check real fast. What is your score on this while I pull it up?
I went with 4.
You gave it the 4.
Yeah.
You
I went
fully
with 4.
committed.
Yeah, me too. Actually, the first 2 times I gave it a 4. I still think this is fantastic today, so I'm going to stay with it. It's good beer, and that 9% is invisible.
Yeah, I had the 40th hop anniversary ale. I believe we had that at the show, and then their Oktoberfest was good. I remember having that one. That's what it was. Their Oktoberfest we had. No, we haven't had a lot on the show, but I've had them like out and about. I just don't check stuff in when I'm out and about. I only use it on tap for the show for the most part. You're also with the 4, you said?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now we have our St. Patty's Day beer here. Last week we did Leprechaun's Drink Shenanigans 2 or something. Shenanigan City or
Drink milkshakes too.
yeah, Leprechaun's Drink milkshakes
the
too.
Green one.
It was a peppermint green IPA ale. I forget, like a cream ale almost.
Yeah, it kind of like a milkshake.
It was a milkshake IPA with vanilla
and
mint and lactose.
Yeah, it was like drinking a Shamrock Shake. To me, it tasted. I was like drinking toothpaste. It was good. It wasn't my favorite, but mint's a tough sell for me in beer. I just like chocolate chip mint. I don't even like that ice cream. I have a hard time with it. So this is Stable 12. A huge fan of Stable 12. I like their beers. I just had their Smash Bros.
Yeah.
The Galaxy one. Oh, that was so good. And what's this one called? Murphy's?
Yeah, Murphy's Law.
I can't find this one.
Really? Murphy's Law by Stable 12? Yeah, if you just type in Murphy's Law Stable and then start typing in Stable 12, it pops right up. This is a stout Irish dry, 5% ABV. I had 2 friends check it in, gave it a 4. I had 55 check-ins total with a 3.88. A classic Irish stout brewed with flaked, roasted, and malted barley, served at nitro, designed to be ordered by the round and drank by the pint. Salente, right? That's how that says, right? The worst Irish person ever. Salante. Thank you. Yeah. I'm a terrible Irishman.
I had 3 of these already, and I didn't check it in yet for the purpose of
All right, so
trying to save it for
this makes me nervous because it says roasty. It immediately to me it smells like coffee.
It has a coffee.
Yeah, and I'm not a coffee flavor person, so this is going to be a tough sell for me. But let's see how we go there. Nope, don't like that.
I like it.
Yeah, it tastes like, once again, not a coffee flavor. That's too much roast for me. Oh, it's like an old cup of coffee sat on the counter and you drank it.
Or like on the lines of like a cold brew coffee almost. Like it has like it's like smooth, but like has that roasty taste to it. But
I'm just gonna get rid of it. Call it. I don't think I can. It's hard. It's not for me. Fuck it. No, thank
I'm
you.
assuming that the nitro's from a widget, but
I think when they can it on nitro instead.
but it's because a lot of I'm weird with the widget, and a lot of times I get like a funky aftertaste from whether it's not poured right, or but I don't get it's still smoother, but I don't get any of the off flavor on end. So I think this is fairly nice.
Yeah, I think if you're into that style, you'll enjoy it. It's just not for me.
We'll convert you yet, man.
No, I don't. That's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough sell. It's been a while since a stout did that for me, but as soon as I smelled it, I was like, no, I'm not gonna be into that one. Roasty, creamy, yeah, that's all there. I'm not gonna score it. It's not my style of beer, so I'm not gonna diminish her score. Oh, yikes! Not for me at all, boys. Do you guys score this? I'm sorry, I was too busy having a panic attack over here.
I'll give that a 3.7.
3.7.
That's definitely above average. Everything it says it has. Fortunately, I don't have problems with coffee or chocolate, but I like it.
You get chocolate in that?
A little bit on the finish, yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to keep with the theme today and go 4 on it.
oh boy.
It's reminds me of Guinness, but I still think
It's a lighter Guinness,
yeah,
I'd say.
and I think they do it best yet, like in the nitro canning and just everything in general. I haven't met an Irish dry stout yet that I like more than that, but I mean it's close.
Yeah, this one, I will say this, like, minus the coffee taste, it's not a thick beer. Like how they said that you can drink this by the pint and keep going. This isn't gonna give you that. I feel like it's not gonna give you that full belly feeling.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah,
Which is
you put a pint of Guinness down and you feel like you have a brick in your stomach for half an hour.
yeah, like people who can drink Guinness all day long, you're a savage. You're like later on you're gonna be hurting, like your stomach's gonna be torn. But I feel like these are all day beers. Like they're only 5%, so they're not crushing you. They're lighter, they're lighter bodied, and you can have a good time with those. Like I feel like this is a nice Guinness substitute, I would say, if you want to go all day long. It does hit everything it says it's going for. It's just unfortunately not my style of beer. So I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, it's the worst, because it's not. It's just not my style, not what I'm into. And but I think if you are into that style of beer, I think you would really enjoy it. Just unfortunately not for your boy here. All right. So while I crack this one, let's take a quick little pause here because we're zooming here. What have you guys done anything all week? Let's talk beer stuff. Have you gone anywhere, visited anything, bought some beers, tried some beers?
Where did we go for dinner that was new? I'm drawing a blank now. No beer trips yesterday, unfortunately. I had to go to work, so I put a full 8-hour day in. Damn it! One day during the week we went to a new restaurant that had a decent beer selection, and now for the life of me, I can't remember what it is. I
lost it.
I have to look. Yeah,
you can check it out. What about you?
Not a whole lot. Picked up a few new beers at work.
What's new at the cake stand? Or the craft house? Sorry.
We got a lot of stuff in. Some new imports from like Germany and stuff. Some new wheat beers from over there. We got a couple new trails in.
Is there another variety pack coming?
Yeah, there is. They announced who's in it, but they didn't announce the styles yet. It's them and Evergreen.
Ooh. Save me a variety pack of this one.
All right.
I'll grab it and I'll pay you. I missed out on the last one.
It's them and Evergreen, them and Levante, them and can't remember.
I'm excited for them and Evergreen. That sounds interesting right there. I like Evergreen a lot.
Yeah. It's them and Evergreen, them and Levante, them and Voodoo, and I forget who the fourth one is off the top of my head, but I know I shared it the other day on the community page when they announced it.
Yeah. So. That's how I seen it. So the cake stand just got some cool stuff in too. They have the double dry hop pulp daddy from who's that? The
Greater good.
Greater Good, yeah. And then they have Pulp Berries. They got the Party Shirt Fridays from Common Roots. They got the Single Cut Alternative Double Dry Hop IPA. They also have the Murphy's Law Irish Cider from 12%. Sci-Fi Hamster Wheel.
Yeah, it's a Sci-Fi Hamster Wheel is from Thin Man.
Yes. Kicking Knowledge from Barrier. I believe I had that. Now it's a good beer. The Blood Orange Sour from Connecticut Valley. And I have them put on the side for me, Hop Man by Connecticut Valley. They made the Devil's Hop a long time. Like, I don't know if it's still like a production or if it was a one-off, but it was like the Devil's Hop or Devil something, but it was made by Connecticut Valley. It was one of my favorite beers I've ever had. Like, I went and got like 2 4-packs from it. So that one sounds really good. Party Jam Blueberry from Hermit and Thruss. I don't see that. Like, it's a tough. And then they have a DD beer, non-alcoholic, authentic. Was it Athletic Brewing Company?
Yeah, Athletic
Freeway.
Brewing. Yeah,
Is that like a seltzer?
No, it's an NA
It's an
beer.
NA beer, yeah.
It's
It's a
we've been
hazy
getting,
IPA.
Yeah,
That the whole
We've been
brewery's
getting a lot of-
concept is that that's all they make is NA beer.
Yeah,
That's
Athletic.
yeah.
They have a hazy. They have a wheat beer. They have I think we have most of them.
Really?
Yeah, and then Untitled Art put out some NAs. We got there. They did a hazy IPA
We should do-
NA, and they did NA chocolate stout, and then another NA craft brewery is Wellbeing. I think they're called. They do a lot of NAs.
I know you
also.
pitched the idea, but I'm completely down for doing an NA episode. Because, like, here's the thing. I don't want to, like, there's people I know who are very good friends of mine, and they were very into the craft beer game, but unfortunately,
Health issues, they can't drink anymore.
health issues and maybe abused when they were drinking, got a little too crazy, and unfortunately had to stop, but I don't know if I don't know how this works when it comes to recovery or anything like that. So I don't want to put the wrong message out, but if there's NA beers that you can still enjoy the taste of the flavor and it's not going to trigger you to want to do the real thing, sure, I wouldn't be opposed of doing an episode of being like, hey, they're not alcoholic, but flavor wise, you're right there. You know what I mean? Me personally, I don't like getting blackout drunk is not fun anymore. Like I'm not looking to get hammered or ripped and not be able to walk the next day, but I enjoy the taste of beer. Like I enjoy drinking a beer because of its actual flavor. Like I know people are like, how do you drink IPAs? They're gross. I enjoy them.
Yeah.
So the idea of getting drunk to me isn't the overall goal.
I think 1.5% is the upper limit for it to.
Yeah, to be
If
NA.
it's any
yeah.
stronger than that, it's not an NA anymore.
So there is some alcohol in it.
There's a little
some-
bit.
Yeah,
but-
I think
Okay.
one of the only ones that don't is the Heineken 0.0, which I tried when I came in.
Didn't
and it's
Guinness
not
do a
bad.
0.0?
I think they just put one out.
I mean, but like you could drink a case of beer at 1.5% and you're not even going to get buzzed.
Yeah.
Well, that's like
Yeah.
even Miller 64 is only like 3.2% or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if we can get like a variety pack, I don't want to get a case of each
Well, yeah.
flavor, but if we can get like
there's
a variety
like
pack or something.
six packs and 4-packs and stuff like that.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, I'm definitely down to try that out. Just
and even if we don't do like a full-fledged just NA, but do like an NA wheat,
Yeah, throw one
Versus
into
an
an
alcoholic
episode
wheat,
for a
like
couple
just-
weeks
or a
something,
Patreon. After we've already
Yeah.
done an episode, we can end the Patreon. We can end the Patreon episode with an NA beer. We are. I know the Patreon is. There is going to be weeks we sneak Patreon episodes on the main channel. But I want to reassure the people who pay for the Patreon for the extra content. Like if you're paying just to donate and help us out, I appreciate it. But I don't want to give away the content because you guys are paying for it. But there is going to be weeks where we may not be able to record. I know there's a Friday we're coming up where I won't be able to record or I may not be able to record. So we may just sneak that because people are used to seeing an episode on Friday. I may just sneak an episode from the Patreon to be like, hey, this is what you missed on the Patreon. Because I will say this. I feel like the main episodes like this, like we're talking and bantering a little bit. So if you like this aspect where we talk and we hang out, that's a lot of the Patreon content because that's the old school style of our show. Now we kind of dial into a topic or we dial into the beer and we just do it and we get done and we move on. Like we're not gonna put all this other stuff in here. You know what I mean? Or like, hey, I took a shit the other day, or our banter story. But the Patreon, you get a lot of that, especially with the Not Cool in High School and the Truth Behind Illusion, where it's more like instead of the topic we cover, it's a lot of banter and fun. So we may sneak some of those in to be like, hey, this is what a Patreon episode experience is. If you're interested, it's $5 for extra content and it helps us grow, or you don't have to. One of those deals. So I do want to put that out there and be upfront with the audience and the people who do pay that every now and then, if we can't record, I will sneak one of those on. I am very proud to say that I think almost every show so far, except interviews, there's at least 4 episodes of Patreon content out for each show. So I think it's pretty good so far. And then we only had the Patreon for a couple of weeks now, or a month or two. So pretty proud of that. So we got Chilltown going on here. Chilltown it's a Chilltown Crusher from 902 Brewing. I had this already. This is my last can of it, but we were running a little short. We're all caught up on beers in the fridge, which seems to be an ongoing problem with Bangin Beers Podcast. We just overstock the fridge, and then beers get shuffled to the back, and they don't make it to the show until later on. So we're going to try to prevent that.
This one has one of my favorite flavor profiles. It is gluggable.
Gluggable.
Yeah, so this is a 5.3 ABV, a simple base malt Pilsner and Vienna, fermented out of German lager yeast and gently dry hop with a Huel melon, no idea. Crisp, clean, flavorful, and an excellent companion to mow the lawn with you. I think it hits every profile there. It is a Pilsner / lager style beer.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's easy. Nice. It's a nice, easy drinker. I got this at the cake stand. I seen it. Actually, I went to the cake stand with my wife, which was a horrible idea because she doesn't drink, doesn't like the fact that I spend money on beer as much as I do on beer, and took her to the cake stand to go pick up beers. And I was going through and I was picking beers out, and she's like, "Oh, you said you like lager and Pilsners, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "This one has a fun name, Chilltown." And I was like, "Yeah, but I already have so many beers here." She's like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "All right, you talked me into it," and I grabbed it, and she didn't say anything. She was like, "Okay," because she liked the name. So I was like, I gotta take her more often. I could sneak another 4 or 5 back in there.
I get that every now and then too. Like we'll get a new ones, and I'll send a picture, and she'll be like, "Yeah, that's fine."
I don't wish you drank with me because I already have
because either the can hearts need or the name is something fun that she can say every time she opens the fridge.
Yeah,
like opens the fridge.
So how do you actually pick this one, the Chilltown? It is. Here's the thing with this one though. For me, anyway, it has a fruit base.
That's the Huel melon they're talking about. That's actually the hop. That's coming off the hops.
Yeah. So it has that lager Pilsner. It does have a little bit of a hop to it, like you're saying. I think if you're not a hop fan, this one may be a turnoff for you. If you're looking for that crisp lager taste, this one has a little bit of hopness to it that may be a turnoff. But it has a very fruit melon front.
Yeah, I like that. It's really smooth too. You can get the maltiness there.
Yes.
Again, this is another really good one.
I went 3.75 on this.
I'm going to give this one a 4. I like this.
I'm being stingy with my 4s today. I don't know.
Yeah, we're handing them out.
Yeah, you're just giving 4s to everybody.
Yeah, left and right today. All 4s. I'll do a 3.75 also.
3.75.
I do like Pilsners. It's a good a good break from all the IPAs and stuff, but it still has that little bit of like hop there. But
so this next one I probably should have saved, unfortunately. But here's the thing: I gave this beer to everyone at the table. Like my dad has a can, I gave Andrew a can, so they're not here today, but they got to experience this beer. We got to have East Brothers over via Skype all the way from California and hang out with us, which was a really cool experience, and we are looking to do more of that. So if you want to be a guest in the show, whether you're a podcaster or just a beer reviewer yourself, or you're a brewery, we are very accommodating having people on, and we can do like a Skype call. We can join you in, and you can join the show and hang out and have a good time with us. So this brewery called all the way in from California. We got to hang out with the head brewer, and he said with the 4-pack we got, it was like a red ale, a Pilsner, an IPA, and I
think there was 2 IPAs.
2 IPAs, a Pilsner, and a red ale. And we tried them. They were really good beers. I actually went and got another 4-pack personally. So because I liked them so much, I was like, I don't have to share these. I can drink them myself. They've been podcast beers. And they said, oh, we have a Russian Imperial Ale stout that we're really proud of too. Not a huge stout guy, so I'm nervous. I don't want to give a obviously I'm going to be front forward with that. People know, but you guys are excited. You guys like stouts. So it did come into the cake stand. If you guys want to crack that and get that going, while we're cracking, what are you wearing today? What's the shirt of the day thing?
This is the Settle Down Easy Brewery. This is from Northern Virginia. I'm having a brain fart here again today. I'm pretty sure they're from Fairfax. That was from 2 weeks ago, the trip I had with Rosa, where we did all the international grocery shopping and stuff.
And you went all the way down to Virginia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great place, friendly people, good beer, good day.
So I will say this, and this is not a knock to Stable 12. I know one's a nitro stout and one's an imperial, but like if you wanted an Instagram photo of a beer, that's beautiful. That's a good looking beer. Like it looks like, you know what I mean? Like that's what you want a beer to look like. I didn't pour yet, so you can take your photo. I'll pour. I'm not gonna do as big of a pour. That's a good looking beer. Like it looks fake almost. Like it's that good looking. And you're rocking the Bangin Beers Patty's Pub shirt or Beer Hub or beer. I forget what we named it.
I don't remember either.
The Bangin Pub. I think I named it the Bangin Pub shirt. As fun fact, on the bottom. So depending on what Patty's Pub logo you see, it says Patty's Pub, and it says worst bar or worst dive bar in Philadelphia. I wanted one that said Bangin Beers instead of Frackville, Pennsylvania. I wanted the worst podcast, the worst beer podcast in Pennsylvania. But we didn't get that one made. Maybe part 2 later on. Maybe next year, St. Patty's Day, we'll do the worst beer podcast in Pennsylvania. This looks thick boy. It's a thick boy.
There was somebody, I forget what brewery, posted they did a smoothie style stout.
What?
Yeah. So they're already thick, but now they're making it
like you have to chew it.
Yeah, more thick.
Jesus Christ. East Brother Imperial. You found it?
Yeah, I have it up.
Go ahead, read it up. A 10.5. Jesus
Russian Imperial Stout from the East Brother Beer Company of Richmond, California. It comes in at 10.5%. It's been checked in a total of 166 times. I actually have had this once. None of my friends have checked it in yet. Black as night with a luscious texture. Notes of chocolate, coffee, and deeply roasted barley with classic English hops. The flavor profile is roasty, dark, velvety, tobacco, and boozy.
Tobacco, coffee, and tobacco. This is like
see, but that's now
like my mom's wet dream.
Like when you have when they list tobacco as a flavor in a beer, they're talking about like
smoky.
Like no, not even that. Like when you have tobacco in a cigarette, it's been processed and stuff like that. This is like curing tobacco that's in the drying rack that's been unaltered. It's a completely different whole sensation, flavor, and aroma.
All right, so it is roast. The roasting is definitely hitting with the coffee. I will say this: I do get notes of chocolate in this. I get that smokiness. I hear you're talking about like a smoky, like that. Yeah, I get a little bit of that, but it's not. And being a 10%, I do get a little booziness, but it's still not enough to overpower the.
That's for 10%. That's still pretty smooth.
It is. Yeah, when I say booziness, it's definitely not. You're drinking like a barrel aged. You know what I mean? It's still very, very smooth. I think it's nicer to drink because it is thicker. Where the nitro stout was more a little watery and it kind of gave me more of a little not. I don't. When I say this, is not negative content, but it grossed me out a little bit because it is more watery. This is a little bit of an easier drinker for me.
Let's see what Billy thinks too here. Like when I did the nitro stout, I didn't consider that watery, but now compared to this, it's
as
thin,
compared to But a lot of the dry stouts to me normally are thinner. Like they're not as heavy. Like for whatever reason it is. I don't know if it's the whole process of making the dry stout versus a regular one. I mean,
it's still not for me. I would not be able to drink a pint of this, but I can appreciate it. Just like the other one, I think if this is what you're looking for, I think it nails it. So I'm gonna say I'm not gonna score it. It's not my style of beer. It was a lot easier to drink for me than the nitro stout from Stable 12, and I love Stable 12 beers. So that's not a knock on them saying they're not good at what they do. just not my style. I'm not going to check it in and ruin the score. But I'll let you guys handle this one because you're more stout drinkers. But I think, me personally, if you're a stout drinker, I think you'd fucking love this.
I'm a fan. I'm gonna throw it out again. This is a 4. It's delicious. You would never ever expect that this is 10.5%.
Yes,
It's
crazy.
Chocolate is the first thing I get. They use the word velvety, and I think that is very appropriate. That is super smooth. Um, I'm a roasty and coffee fan, so what comes through on that doesn't bother me. It's nice and malty, and I get just a hint of the tobacco essence that they're talking about. This is great stuff. I would drink this any day.
I think that tobacco thing is the first time I ever experienced that in a beer where they put it out
Well,
there.
Now,
But I know what they're talking about.
if I don't know if we have any fan base in Virginia. The closest thing I can think to equate this to, or if you know anybody who actually is a tobacco farmer. In my younger days, when we used to travel between Pennsylvania and Florida, before they had beltways everywhere, when you were on 95, you had to drive through Richmond, and it was before the days of cigarettes or death, and all the huge tobacco companies had facilities in Richmond, Virginia. And I-95 went right through the heart of it, and there was like a mile and a half where that was like you would just drive, and that's all you smelled is like curing tobacco.
Just
It was
tobacco
so
leaves.
incredible. Oh,
I think for me, so like when I think when people think tobacco, too, they think cigarette. To me, that what I get is like when you go into like a really nice cigar shop.
Yeah.
that's closer.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
weird to say like you can taste that smell, but that's what I'm getting.
That's
But like
like
because that's another thing too is the tobacco they use in cigars doesn't go through all the chemical treatments and processes that cigarette tobacco or in a lot of cases chewing tobacco gets.
Like, I'm not saying this to be that it's exclusively a man drink, but this is like the gentleman drink, like where you would drink this stout with a cigar. You know what I mean? Like,
I can see me having this at Cigars International. I've out on their deck, like a nice, like this and a nice.
I think it would
cigar.
complement.
Yeah, enjoying it.
Yeah, or like if you had like if
Just
you
like-
if you ate that with like a burger or a steak or something, I think it would go very well. It would be a good pairing. Yeah, I definitely see that. What is your score on this? What do you think?
I gave this one a 4.
A 4?
Also. Yeah.
Guilty.
This is for you guys. This is gonna be tough to pick a winner. You guys are going 4s across the board here. Well, I already know that I am not voting for a stout, unfortunately, for beer of the night. But I wouldn't be mad if you guys ousted me and gave a stout a win because you guys are more appreciative of it than I am. So here's our big boy can. Thank you, Andrew, for this one. I hope to God you tried it. I didn't know this was your can. Wow, that's different. I don't even know what this is. It's the
I thought it was an IPA. I think
a
it says it on-
Wyken, the Wyken, Wynken.
See, maybe I misunderstood when I looked at it the first time. I thought it was the Heineken like name.
Yeah, I have to grab a paper towel. These big cans are tough to pour sometimes. If you need it, here it is.
Oh, spill free.
Oh, you're better than I. So we while we're talking about this, we'll do a little banter here again. On truth behind no, I'm not cool in high school. I'm gonna ask Bob this question because I like to learn more about Bob here. Because you were commenting the whole time.
Yeah. Well,
we watched the Leprechaun movies. Have you ever watched the Leprechaun horror comedies?
I have seen the original one, but that was a very long time ago.
Jennifer Aniston's acting debut.
I did not know that.
yes, and she does not like to talk about it.
No, she's
At
not.
all.
She's not a fan of the
It's not a
Leprechaun.
fa-
movies.
Yeah, I've seen clips of interviews that they asked about it, and she just completely stops
She no-sells
talking.
it.
Yeah, she like hops over it and goes, "Oh, okay, next question."
Yeah. Why
Like,
is she
just
so
moving on.
against it?
I don't know. Like everyone gets their start somewhere. Like I think
Maybe it's like Tina Louise said, Gilligan's Island ruined her career after it made her career.
Yeah.
like Matthew McConaughey was in, I think, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Like that, I think that was like one of his first movies.
And Kevin Bacon started in Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, man. I hope. All right. So I just got a message. I don't want to read the message, but I just did an interview with one of the kids that my brother grew up with, and one of the people in their friends group just sent me a really nice message on Instagram, pretty much saying that he only had a plan to go to the gym for an hour, but he put the podcast on and he ended up staying another 2. Like, he really enjoyed it.
That's good.
That's the feedback that I like to hear. Like, it takes a couple minutes out of your day. Like, hey man, here's what I got out of your show. Like, or even if like, hey, your fucking show sucks, you're terrible at what you do. Like, I don't know. It just made my
Well, it's
day.
just odd because when I used to go to the gym, I would rather listen to a podcast than music because like I would zone out more. It's like hearing people talk about things versus like when you're hearing songs, they end and then it goes into the next one. So if it's like a 2-hour long podcast of people just talking, then you don't realize that you're in the gym for 2 hours.
Yeah.
See, when I started listening to podcasts, actually, the first podcast I ever listened to was a beer podcast as well. It was the one that Untapped runs. And
how do we stack up?
I enjoy this better.
Really?
Absolutely. I can get into that later if you want, but I prefer this actually.
Interesting.
Untapped released they originally they released it on Wednesday and then they moved it to Thursdays.
What's it called?
And
the podcast.
I believe it's called Drinking Socially.
Drinking Socially.
But you can just do Untapped podcast and it'll come up.
Yeah, I definitely want to check it out.
Rose and I work different shifts, and in the spring and the summer when it's nice out, I would sit on the back porch with my first beer of the day every day, and if the podcast took me 2 or 3 beers, well, then that's what it was. And when it came out, I would just listen to it, and I have a huge oak tree in my backyard that I like to sit under, and I just relax from a long day at work listening to people talk about beer.
Yeah.
And then I found you guys, and you guys come on Mondays, and you guys were every week, and so then I started doing it twice.
Yeah. So I think this is called the Wyken, Blyken, and Nod Out IPA.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be Winkin', Blinkin', and Nod.
That makes sense. Wyken.
That's what I thought it was too until I
Winkin', Blinkin', and Nod Out IPA. That makes a lot more sense. This is why we have you around for my dumbass. This is a 7%.
Honestly, I thought it was the same thing until I pulled it up and actually saw it in front of my face.
This is a 7% IPA, 674 check-ins. It averages a 359. 3 friends have checked it in a 392. Please God, let one of them be. And they're not. It's not Andrew. I feel horrible if he hasn't had this. I'm gonna feel like a fucking shithead. It's a fantastic IPA, well balanced, mix and variety of hop, full bodied and fresh finish. I took the first sip. Hold on, let me get one more in here. It's a different taste the first time you have it. It's
not like a normal IPA to me.
Kind of malty for an IPA.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It has a weird color. Like when you pour it, it looks like a lager.
Malty is part of the flavor profile.
Yeah. It almost drinks like a hoppy lager to me.
Yeah. It's
a little sweet. It's malty. You get the hop bitter lingers on the finish. It's very smooth.
I'm letting them know right now. I didn't know this was yours, and we drank it. I'm sorry. I try not to do that to people when they bring a beer and we don't like when you had a beer though. Like last week you had beers and you weren't here. I was like, fuck, man.
It's like I've had them before. If I brought them, I've had them.
Yeah,
but I just may have not had checked them in because if I did end up coming on, and it just so happened to be.
I appreciate that. Like we have a following. You know what I mean? Just so even the fact that you consider like I don't want to give my score out before the show is a small gesture that I appreciate. I want you to know that. Like it shows that you take pride in what we do. You know, what I mean, I don't take myself very seriously. I don't think we should take the show very seriously, but I do take the fact that you take that second or two out of your thing or a small little gesture to think like thinking the show first. I super appreciate that, and that's why when someone brings a beer in the fridge and we drink it, they're not here. Like I have like a mini like, oh, I fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like I want you to be a part of it if you brought it. I'm gonna say this right now, Andrew. I really like this. If you pour this in my glass, and told me it was an IPA, I would think it was a hoppy lager. This hits different.
That's different, but it's not bad.
No, I don't. I don't
it's good.
dislike it at all. Yeah, I wouldn't.
I don't think I'm going to hit a 4 with this one, but 3.7, 3.8 easy.
Yeah, I think I'm
same.
still. I think I'm stuck with 3. Oh, did I not check that in? I guess I didn't. I'm gonna go 3.5 on this. The 3.5 can. I'll tag Andrew in it. I do get the malty, the sweet. I get a little like a fruit flavor, like a sweet with it as well, like that tart, not tart, but like fruity type flavor with the malt and the like I said, it's a weird. It's different. I can honestly say drinking this beer, I don't think I've ever had a beer that drank like this. This definitely stands out. So I think when it comes to unique factor, I think every one of these beers that we've had today, I've had it in some form or another with another one. Yeah, Chilltown's a little different because it has that mango flavor, so it stands out. It's
again,
different.
though, like this is a killer lineup tonight. There's not a stinker in the bunch.
No.
You can't, except for not liking coffee. But,
Yeah.
I can't say anything bad about any of them.
I agree. None of them blew my socks off. Like none of them were over a 4 for me. But a 3.75 is a very, very good beer. Like I would definitely have these again. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, this one is so much different than anything I've ever had before. And I don't hate it, but it also doesn't take me to a place where I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever had, if that makes any sense. But I really, really like it. I like the fact that they've tried something different because, like I said, it stands out. It definitely stands out.
I do like that a lot when they take more chances than trying to chase a trend or
Yes.
try to be in line with everyone else. Like we were talking the other week on Rusty Rail, like they don't seem to follow trends. They just want to try something new or try a new flavor profile or try to add things together that wouldn't necessarily always go together and just run with it.
Yeah, they become the trendsetter as opposed to following the pack.
Yeah, I respect Rusty Rail for that as well. I will also say this: Stable 12 is very similar to that. Like Stable 12, they're very experimental. They make some fun beers. They're a good time. They made the Nightman beer, right? The Nightman and the Dayman.
Yeah.
That would be a brewery that I would like to go and experience.
And I think they aren't that far away.
Yeah.
They're like
Phoenixville, I think.
Yeah. So what, like an hour, like a little over an hour?
It's like going to Sly Fox or Stickman or.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be a brewery. Once everything calms down, I would like to reach out and possibly collab and do something.
Well, I do know they have a pretty big outdoor area, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe one of these weekends this weekend, next weekend I'm going. This weekend coming up, I'm going away. That's why we're not recording. But when we go, now that we're this bi-weekly, where every other weekend we can go hang out, that would be a spot I'd be interested. Maybe all jumping in the car and going up, getting some food and having some beers. Maybe network a little bit. They're on my radar. I'm definitely a huge fan of them. Them and Evergreen, I'd love to do an episode with. I'm just a big fan of Evergreen as well.
Yeah, they're hitting it out of the park lately.
They make great beers.
Yeah.
And another thing too, because you guys weren't really a part of the show when we did it before, I want to bring a group of us up to Mellow Mink. I had a blast at Mellow Mink.
Well, L2, you can hit Mellow Mink and Evergreen
the same day
because they're literally on the same road.
Yep. What I would say is we go to Evergreen and eat, because Mellow Mink is one of those places where you eat and then they bring the food to you. Like there's a restaurant across the parking lot and they'll bring it over to you because they don't have their own kitchen. So I'd say eat at Evergreen, have a beer or two, and then go over to Mellow Mink and finish off.
Yeah, last year my dad, my mom, and myself went to Evergreen for my birthday, and they both liked the food.
Yeah.
And my dad liked the beer because he's big into craft.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have him on one day. We'll have we'll bring your dad on, my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I like that kind of stuff. So here we go. Beer of the night. I'll let you start off, Bob.
I'm gonna go with East Brother.
I can definitely see why you would do that. I don't disagree with it. I think even though the profile is not there for me, I was definitely impressed with what I tasted. Like all of the adjuncts were there. I didn't get much chocolate in the Murphy's Law, but I definitely got it in the East Brothers. I always say East Bros, like Super Mario Bros. What's your pick?
Oh boy. I'll probably go along with Bob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will. Then I'll do a throwaway and just say Murphy's because I don't want to ruin my actual pick for my beer of the night. So East Brothers Beer Company, and that's not because they were on the show. That legit was a great. It was
good.
Yeah, it was a. I could definitely see how that was a heavy hitter. I'll start next. I think for me, the next beer of the night for me would be the big little thing IPA.
That's where I was going to.
Yeah. I'll agree.
So unanimous. There
Yeah.
we go.
Look at that. We're getting along perfectly. Second place, I will say, even though it was not my highest scored, it was my lowest score of the night. I want to say it should win a nomination for beer of the night because I will say out of these two beers, I had these beers before, but they did something different with them that made them stand out. And I'm gonna go Wellsboro.
I hadn't made up. It was definitely going to be one of these two, but I'm going to ride the wave.
Wells,
Yeah.
you're gonna agree?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll agree.
Look at that. Peace in the Middle East here. So beer of the night is gonna be East Brothers Beer Company, the Russian Imperial Stout. Second place is gonna be Sierra Nevada's Big Little Thing IPA, and third place is gonna be the Wellsboro Winkin' Blinkin' Nodding Out. I think that's what it's called, right? Yeah, the Winkin' Blinkin' and Nod Out IPA. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't my highest scored, but I think the fact that they tried something different,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Now we'll go to presentation, overall presentation of your beer. Now this one is tough because it is a crowler fill.
Well,
But
that's the brew pub's logo.
But I will say this: as a crowler can, it's a really nice crowler can. I think the lantern or the street light with the hop in it, it's
and two, it's actually all printed up. Like it's not like
sometimes
have a
you lose some
label that they
quality
just,
with a
like-
crowler can, and that they definitely don't do. Obviously, you don't get the art of the beer that you're trying to get, but I think what the presentation is of a crowler can, I think is enough that we can score that. If that makes any sense. So I'll start with you, Bill. What do you think? Just when you pick, don't move it forward. I'm gonna go snag a quick pick here. So what is your presentation pick? Overall presentation.
overall, it's tough. I mean, all of them are kind of normal. Like there's nothing really.
Yeah, like there's no crazy art that's
really-
gonna jump out the shelf and make you want to grab it.
I might go with the Stable 12.
The Murphy's Law,
the
simple.
Murphy's Law,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if it's St. Patty's Day and you see that, you see Murphy, and you're like, Dropkick Murphy.
I'll drink it.
I'm into that. I like that a lot.
I'm going to use your logic on this one, and this is the one I would be most likely to wear on a T-shirt. I like that. And I think this came up when they were on before. Reminds me of like a baseball jersey kind of look.
I agree.
That's my pick.
And they said the line on the can, what they use that for the water level, right? That's supposed to represent the water level because they are right by a harbor. I believe that's what they were saying. For me, overall presentation, I think both of these can't go wrong. I do agree. I think the East Brothers has an old school like World War II baseball tee, like a league of their own look to it, which I really love. The Murphy's Law, I can't disagree at all with that. I think if you see that green can with the black thing and the gray trim, St. Patty's Day, that'll definitely push you off the shelf. But I will say, I think Wellsboro's Crowler can, I think, is really, really impressive. It's a full wraparound. It's not a sticker. It's literally printed like that. I also like their logo. I think it's clean. I think the street, like the old school, like Gotham by Gaslight. There's my comic book. Yeah, like that's my comic book reference here of this podcast. I really enjoy that. I think that's a really, really nice. That's a sharp looking Crowler can, and we'll do a 3-way tie for overall presentation. So we'll go Wellsboro, Murphy's Law with Stable 12, and East Brothers. We'll go a 3-way tie there.
Yeah, actually, Wellsboro would have been my pick for second place.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I would wear all three of those on a T-shirt. Now for beer name of the night, I'll go first. and I'll just do what Heidi did. She's seen Chilltown. I don't know if she got some Guy Fieri vibes, but she's seen Chilltown Crusher, and she said, "Oh, that looks like a cool name." So I'll stick with her on that.
Name, I'm going to go with Big Little Thing.
The purple and yellow on that can looks nice though.
Yeah, it does. I'll go with Chilltown too.
Chilltown?
Yeah.
So Chilltown takes name of the night. There you go. So there's our overall. I did not say my t-shirt today, so I'm wearing, we have to get a wrestling reference out. If we don't get a wrestling reference, what the fuck are we doing here? I'm wearing Ed House. He's a local independent wrestler in the area, and this is his hub logo. So we have our hub logo, and he has his own hub logo. So this is the Ed House. Whose house? Ed's house. He wrestled at Outbreak Wrestling. He's a big star there. Really funny guy. I got to do an interview with him. He did a promo. I wasn't there very long. He pushed me out of the frame, and then he went on a cursing tirade. And I told him to, but and then I got to do like the editing. And when I got to do the editing, I was like, it's funnier when I beep it out, because it was like, you mother beep, and then you come around, you beep, beep. Like, it just made it funnier to me. I thought it, so I did it that way. Really, really funny guy. Super, super talented in the mic. Really good in the ring. Local wrestler. So I just wanted to show him some love. So that's my shirt for the day. That'll do it. Bob, what do you got to plug?
Actually, I'll backstep a little bit. Never got back to where we went for dinner.
Oh, you found out?
Damon's Grill in Hazleton.
Oh, okay.
Actually, if memory serves me right, back in the 80s, that was a huge chain.
Yeah, Damon's Grill.
That saw some hard times. I think there's only like a dozen of them left in the whole country now, after there was hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed myself. It was a good time.
What was your beer list like?
It was a split. They had several local microbrews, the regular mainstays.
They have Guttingham?
They did not. They had some Benny brews. They had some stuff from Breaker.
So Benny is actually one of the big representatives of this place I'm going to do a podcast with, getting to know the 570. And they're like, if you like craft beer, when you come up, we'll give you a couple Bennies there on the show. And I was like, I don't podcast without beer.
And actually, they had 4 beers that I hadn't had before. I had the Bennies first.
They make good beer.
Yeah. I had a Devil's Backbone, I think, was the second one. And I enjoyed the Bennies so much, and instead of trying one of the other 2 that I didn't have, I went back to the Bennies and had that again.
Because I know I picked up a 4-pack of Reckless Endeavor.
That's exactly
off of that.
Reckless Endeavor.
Because we got it in, and I picked up a 4-pack of it, and I had one, and I'm like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
And they didn't last until the show. So
Bennies does the regular, like the normal size.
I'll pick up this.
It was on tap. I had a pint, so 2 pints.
So you get a 6-pack of like 12-ounce cans, which is when I first had, I was like, 12-ounce cans. But then I was like,
because we got the Reckless Endeavor in this 4/16s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the cool thing that with Benny's is we did a episode where they did their, I think they called it their Slam series. And it was like the hops, like the Mosaic, Citra, and they did each individual hop by itself with no adjuncts, just like a IPA with that app. And I was like, oh, it was educational for us, because it was like, that's what I'm tasting when I get that one.
Yeah, but there's no other stuff in it.
Yeah.
Now, like, that's a place, like on our beer runs, that's been on the list probably 7 or 8 times. And we're just going to have to make it the first stop of the day at some point, because
I heard definitely a good thing about their food too.
But every single time we show up, there is literally a line out the door. There's 100 people standing in line in the parking lot waiting to get in.
Yeah.
And, our goal is to try as much new stuff as we can. And we're not going to stop and wait an hour just to get it. And we end up passing on them. But at some point, we're going to go out and do a tour with them on again and make them the first stop. So we're there early and we get in right away. But everything I've had from them has been fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That'll be one of our off weekends.
The Reckless Endeavor, if you see that out there, try it. It's well worth your time and money.
It's good. And I think the price point wasn't that bad on it either.
Mm-hmm. What's your plug?
Probably just the usual. Just shop local, try new beers, try places that are in in PA, or even now, all the ones that are coming to PA that weren't here before.
Everyone's breaking. They're like, yo, these PA people could drink.
Yeah.
We need to get our beers in that state, which we love. That's good.
Because I had 2 different ones off of Tripping Animals in Florida, and they were both good. Great Notion from out in Oregon. All their stuff is good. And for traveling across the whole country, it's fresh.
Yeah.
Like, we just got stuff in at the craft house, and I think it was canned like mid-February.
Sweet.
So that's pretty fresh for
Cross country.
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah. Also, I'll plug the IWEP network. I just did an interview with Yeti. He's a local rapper and coming out of Monty City, Pennsylvania. Best friends with my brother growing up. Really good kid. We sat down and had an interview and realized even though there's a generation gap between us, we had a lot in common, especially when it comes to the family and caring for your siblings and having an age gap there. Great interview. The last Not Cool in High School, we talked about the Leprechaun movies. And then the next Truth Behind Illusion, we're going to be talking the history of the myth of leprechauns and where they come from and maybe possibilities with that. We do have some cool stuff with Bangin Beers coming up soon. I know we have some contact with the Humboldt Tap. They want us to come up and do an episode. We still have to book our annual now. It's going to be like a once a month type deal with Little Brown Barrel. So we'll be back there very soon. It was actually supposed to be this next Sunday, but I'm going to be away, so we're not going to be able to record. So we'll sneak in an episode for you guys, maybe from the Patreon, and then maybe we'll do this episode's Patreon. So when we break here, we have a few beers we're going to do. Nothing crazy. Probably won't be a super long episode, but that'll be our Patreon. If you want to check out the Patreon before you see it next week, $5 gets you into the Patreon account. Bunch of bonus content. It helps us grow, helps support us. If you want to grab some merchandise, it's all there. Links below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. It's been a blast. Bangin Beers Podcast. Drink responsibly. Don't do anything silly. And you remember, it's not always about getting drunk. It's enjoying what you have, right? We'll see you guys next time. Here's to Faith in Exile.